All right, let's get straight into it. Today, we're looking exactly at how you can build a highly profitable, sustainable software business without taking a single dime of venture capital. We're going to break down the hard data on why bootstrap businesses are actually outperforming VC-backed startups right now, the top lessons from successful founders, and the exact step-by-step validation framework you need to launch a micro-SaaS in 2026. No fluff, just the playbook.
First up, the size of the prize. By the end of 2026, the global SaaS market is projected to hit a staggering $465 billion. And here's the reality check for you. You do not need millions in funding, and you definitely don't need to build the next unicorn to grab a lucrative slice of this. The market has completely shifted. It's creating a massive rebirth for independent founders who target specific, profitable niches. This right here perfectly illustrates that core shift. On one side, you've got the traditional venture capital model, right? Growth at all costs. Burn cash, acquire users, figure out the profits later. But on the other side, we have the bootstrapped model. It's all about capital efficiency. We're talking lean operations, a fast path to profitability, and retaining total control of your business. And in today's market, capital efficiency is absolutely winning. Section 1. VC versus bootstrapped. The hard numbers. Let's look at the data. Check out this new business growth trajectory from the recent ChartMogul SaaS growth report. For companies in that 1 to 30 million annual recurring revenue range, when the market slowed down, basically everyone took a hit. But bootstrappers, because they literally have to be frugal from day one, adapted to the market volatility and stabilized their growth way faster than VC-backed companies. Those VC companies burned through their cash reserves, and when the investments stalled out, they really struggled to reignite growth. Bootstrappers didn't have a safety net, so they just executed better. Now look at the net revenue retention for startups below 1 million ARR. Customer retention is nearly identical, whether you raised millions in venture capital or bootstrapped your way up. Seriously, for early-stage startups, customer loyalty does not care about your funding status. It only cares if your product actually solves a painful problem. Those net revenue retention rates are practically neck and neck right now. Which brings us to a massive takeaway directly from the report. Bootstrapped companies rely solely on revenue for growth, forcing them to be frugal and adapt quickly. Operating without that financial safety net, that is not a weakness. It's the exact superpower that forces you to build a sustainable, profitable engine from day one. You just can't afford to mask a bad product with sky-high ad spend. Section 2. Top lessons for vertical success. Let's pivot into the playbook. Based on a decade of data from vertical software investing, how do you actually build a market leader? Well, rule number 1, ignore the massive generic horizontal markets. Seriously, do not try to build the next Salesforce. Instead, you need to target the unsexy niches. We're talking about highly specific workflows in waste management, solar installation, local tradespeople, maybe craft brewing. These are multi-billion-dollar industries that big tech totally ignores because the market size looks too small on a VC pitch deck. But for a solo founder, it's an absolute goldmine. Next up is what's known as the layer cake strategy. You don't want to build 10 features at once. You start with one core product that solves one burning problem perfectly. Then, once you establish market leadership in that narrow niche, you continuously cross-sell integrated services. The absolute best layer to add, embedded finance. Things like payment processing or payroll. It's incredibly sticky, it's easy to cross-sell, and it feels completely frictionless to your customers. And keep this quote from NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang in the back of your mind. General intelligence is becoming a commodity. The scarce skill will be applying it to specific domains. The foundational AI models are out there, they're available to everyone, so the technology itself isn't your moat anymore. Your moat is exactly how you apply that technology to a hyper-specific, highly regulated industry problem that some generic AI chatbot could just never understand. Moving on to Section 3, high-growth industries and specific 2026 opportunities. Let's jump right into the specific, validated sectors that are exploding right now. We're seeing some staggering numbers here. The biggest opportunities aren't in free consumer tools or massive enterprise platforms. No, they are in the underserved mid-market, companies with 100 to 2,000 employees. In these gaps, we are seeing 40 to 80% year-over-year growth rates. These are businesses with actual money to spend, but absolutely no custom-built tools to spend it on. So what exact verticals should you be attacking? Well, the data points straight to these. Compliance automation like SOC 2 or HIPAA tools, AI sales and outbound tooling, revenue operations and pipeline analytics, and AI automation micro-agencies, where you essentially act as the bridge setting up these AI workflows for small, local businesses like dentists or coaching clinics. And get this,
Here is the monthly recurring revenue, or MRR, potential. Solo founders who are targeting these specific high pain point niches using no-code or low-code tools are consistently hitting between $5,000 and $50,000 a month in revenue. They're keeping 90% gross margins, they're operating with almost zero overhead, and they're building life-changing businesses in a matter of months. It's crazy. All right, Section 4, the validation playbook. Validate before you build. Let's drop directly into the how-to phase. And hear me clearly on this. Do not write a single line of code until you complete this aggressive 5-step validation framework so you aren't wasting your time. Step 1, market research. Find evidence of the problem on Reddit or industry forums. Step 2, competitor analysis. Look, if people are already paying competitors, that's validation, not a red flag. Step 3, customer interviews. Talk to 10 ideal customers and literally just listen to them complain about their workflows. Step 4, build a hyper-focused MVP. And Step 5, the pre-launch test. Let's look a little closer at that pre-launch test. It's called the fake door test. You create a simple landing page describing your solution. Then, you run exactly $100 in targeted ads to that page. You ask people to join a waitlist or sign up. If you cannot get a 5 to 10% conversion rate from visitors to email signups, your messaging is wrong, or the problem just isn't painful enough. You need to pivot before you build. But the absolute ultimate validation? That's pre-sales. You want to secure upfront payment from at least 5 customers before the software even exists. Offer them a massive 50% lifetime discount if they pay you today for a product you're going to deliver in a month. Think about it. If a customer won't pay a heavily discounted rate to solve this problem right now, they are absolutely not going to pay full price later, for sure. Now, once you launch, how do you actually survive? You have to build a defensible moat. Generic AI wrappers, they're going to die. To protect your micro-SaaS, you need deep workflow ownership. You need to embed approval processes, offer proprietary industry templates, and integrate complex compliance logic. You have to make your software so deeply embedded into their weekly, financial, or operational workflow that ripping it out would be a total nightmare. And that leaves us with this final, hard-hitting truth. The biggest risk in 2026 isn't starting a bootstrapped business. The biggest risk is staying stagnant, just acting as a data janitor in a world where AI can do the cleaning for you. The playbook is right here. The market is aggressively shifting toward capital efficiency and niche solutions. So the only question left is, which path are you going to choose this weekend?